Hello, welcome back. Now, if you are watching this for the first time and you haven't watched part 1, please go to part 1 first. This is a part 2 of a video series that goes through the solutions for the 2021 Primary 6 Mid-Year Examination Mathematics Paper 1, Booklet B, and from this paper is from Eunos Primary School. So, if you are not my student and looking at it for the first time, I will advise you not to look at the answer or the solutions. Pause the video and try the questions first. If you are my students, you are expected to watch this and work out the solutions on your paper, and I will check those. Okay, let's get started. As always, remember there is no calculators for this section. So find the value of 40 plus 42 minus 12 divided by 5. Now this is order of operation. And for order of operation, what you do is you do the bracket, multiplication, division first. So for example, I will do this. 40, alright, I don't do anything to it. This is a plus, right? I'll ignore it first. I work out the brackets. And this is 42 minus 12, so this is 30 divided by 5. Okay, I'll leave this. Now between addition and division, I'll work out division first. 30 divided by 5 is 6. So 40 plus 6 is 46. That's how we get to this answer. Next one, find the value of 6/11 divided by 3 and give the answer as a fraction in the simplest form. So I'm sure you have heard of the phrase, mechanically how do you do this? Will be you keep this, you change this, and you flip this. This basically is this. 3 is actually 3 divided by 1. So I'll keep this, I'll change to a multiplication, and I'll flip this. Then I'll simplify, and I'll get to 11th. Now next, well, this is quite a number, we got this wrong. Huh? So you're supposed to find a missing number in the box. So what would it be? Now, I would like to look at this way. For example, 24 is to 18. We're supposed to change this to 20 is to something. So you notice that I am now reorganizing how I'm looking at this. This is actually the same as this portion here. So how do you change 24 to 20? Difficult, right? But it's possible to change to another number first. I can change to 20. For example, I can divide this by 6, and then I'll get to 4. I divide by 6, I'll get to 3. Just like what I've done here. And then from 4 to 20, easy. 4 times 5, 20. 3 times 5, 15. Let's move to the next question. Now, this square PQRS is made of 4 smaller squares. What percentage of PQRS is shaded? Now, to find the percentage is always of equal parts. So you can see one part is shaded, 2 parts are shaded, and each of these parts is a triangle. But the rest are actually squares. So how can I make them into equal parts? I just cut this into triangles, and each triangle is an equal part. So there are 2 triangles that are shaded, divided by a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 triangles. I'll have 1/4. And 1/4 is actually 25%. You ought to have memorized this relationship by now. If not, you can multiply by 100%, and then you'll get 25%. The answer here is 25%. Another way to see this is, if I shift this shape over here, then this part becomes shaded. See, I shift this over here. Then you have one part that is shaded, one square that is shaded. 2 triangles make 1 square, right? You see, 2 triangles make 1 square. Then 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4 squares becomes like this. These are the shaded parts. And it's again 1/4 is shaded, and that's 25%. Next one, question 20. A shop sells cupcakes of different flavors. On Monday, 30% of the cupcakes sold were chocolate cupcakes. So you know 30% sold were chocolate cupcakes, and they were told that 60 chocolate cupcakes were sold that day. So in other words, 30% that were sold were chocolate cupcakes, and there were 60 chocolate cupcakes. We're asked to find out how many were sold on Monday. So in other words, we're supposed to find out what's 100%. So I need to find 30% to 100%. I know many of you like to do this, and there's nothing wrong with that. You can do it definitely. Yeah? You find out what is 1% first. You divide it by 30. You divide by 30, you get 2. Then you find out what is 100%, 100 times 2, and get 200. And that's perfectly okay. Now for me, I don't like to divide by such a big number like 30, although it's quite easy in this case. I prefer to divide by a smaller number, like divided by 3, I get 10, divided by 3, I get 20. Then here is times 10. I times a smaller number as well. I times 10, I get my answer. Otherwise, here you see I must divide by a big number. I must multiply by a big number. And I like to do less work. Next. Right, I've not learned algebra, so we'll skip this. Now, a bag contains beads of 3 different colors. The ratio of the number of green beads to yellow beads to blue beads was 2 to 3 to 4. So green to yellow to blue, 2 to 3 to 4. There were 96 blue beads, so I write 96 below here under blue. So how do I get 96? Well, I can use 96 divided by 4. 4 times 2, 8. 1, 6 times 4. So 4 times 24, I get 96. So how many bits were there altogether? So now I know that 4 bits, actually I don't have to do that. So 4 bits is equivalent to 96. 1 bit is equals 1 part, right? 4 parts is equal to 96. 1 part is equivalent to 96 divided by 4 is 24. Total number of bits will be 2 plus 3, 5. 5 plus 4, 9 equal 9 parts. So 9 units will be 9 times 24. And then I get 216 bits. Now this will be the 2-mark section. For 2-mark section, there's always 1 mark for the answer. So you must write your answer here with the units given. Right? Sometimes they will give you the units, but sometimes they do not, like in this case, there are no units given. And you get 1 mark for the last method that gets to the answer. So if you only show your answer with no working whatsoever, then you get your answer mark because we give you the benefit of the doubt, but there's no working mark. So don't shoot yourself in the foot and lose marks just like that. Next one. Now in the figure below, E, F, G, H is a parallelogram. So what are the properties of a parallelogram? Well, of course, they are parallel. Okay, this is parallel to this line. These 2 lines are parallel to each other. Opposite angles are equal. And you see your C shape, right? So you know that these 2 add up to give you 180. You will see these 2 angles like this. Now you're told that this angle HEF is 110 and GJF is 38. Find JGF. I usually like to color the angle that I need to find. JGF, just to make it pop up to me and highlight to me. So again, let's think of the step. To get this angle, what do I need? I think if only I have this angle, then I can use the property of sum of angles in a triangle. I can talk about 180 degrees minus these 2, I get this. That's one way of doing it. Another way is, alright, opposite angles are equals, right? So this angle here, 110, is the same as this angle, 110. 110. If I can find out what is this angle in blue here, 110 minus this angle, I get this. Now for your parallelogram, right, you know that this is your Z shape here. So therefore, your 38 degrees here is the same as 38 degrees here. That's why I can write down this is 38 degrees. So 110 minus 38, I get my answer. Okay, that's one way of doing it. Of course, this method is not in the syllabus. So if you do not know this method, well, there's another way to do it. So for example, I use 180 minus 110. What is this? I'm using now this property here. Notice these 2 lines are parallel. That tells me these 2 angles add up to give me 180. So 180 minus 110, I get 70. So this angle is 70. If I know this angle is 70 degrees, then using the property of sum of angles in a triangle, I use 180 minus 38 minus 70, and I get 72. I also get the answer, right, by using these other 2 properties that you should know because those 2 are in your syllabus. Next, Aina has an equal number of 50-cent coin and 20-cent coin in the purse. I love it because they tell you it's equal number. I don't know how many 50-cent coins and 20-cent coins are there, but it's the same number. So if I imagine I group my 50-cent coin plus 20-cent coin, so one group of 50 cent, 20 cent is 70 cent. Another group of 50 cent and 20 cent is another 70 cent. So there could be many groups of this. But if I pair up all the 50 cent and 20 cent, I'll get 70 cent. The total amount of money is $6.30, which is equivalent to 630 cents. So of all the money here, it must be made up of many groups of 70 cents. Remember, this is one group of 70 cents. So I'm thinking, how many groups of 70 cents are there? So I divide by 70, I get 9 groups of 70 cents. I get 9 groups of this. 9 groups of this will mean there are 9 50 cents plus 9 20 cents. So how many 50 cents coin are there? 9. How can I double check? If there are 9 50 cents, 50 times 9 is 450. 20 times 9 is 180. If I add these two together, I will get 630 cents. Okay, this is just my checking working. So I am not writing them in the correct mathematical way. I'm just doing my checking at the side. Okay, so it's a good practice for you if you are doing your work in a test or homework. Always have your working column to write your rough working here at the side. I wish you have done this on this side. Next, right, this one is on algebra, so we'll skip this. Now, Wei Ling bought a strawberry cake for her family. She ate 2/9 of the cake and her brother ate half of the remaining cake. So what fraction of the cake was left? Well, there was one whole cake at first, and then 2/9 were eaten. So there were 7/9 of the cake remaining. Of the 7/9 of the cake remaining, the brother ate half of it. So what is the fraction of the cake left? Well, this is the part remaining. Brother ate half, so the other half is left. So what is half of the remaining? So half of remaining, half times remaining, I get 1 times 7 is 7, and 2 times 9 is 18, and that's the answer. Alright, there are several other methods that are used to get this, but basically that's the idea. So 7/18 is the answer. Let's go to question 27. The perimeter of a rectangle is 152. The ratio of the breadth of the rectangle to the length is 1:3. Now, you're not given a diagram. And if you're like me and pictures help you to understand better, just draw it out. What this means is the ratio of breadth to length. So this is the breadth. 1 part, 1 unit. Is equivalent to, see, breadth is the 1 part. The ratio of breadth to the length. So this is the breadth, this is the length. So the breadth is 1 part. Then the length will be 1, 2, 3 parts. Okay, pardon the shaking up. 1 part is 3 parts. So if I draw the rectangle, it means this is 3 parts here, 3 parts, and this is 1 part. So if I count the perimeter by parts, it's 1 plus 3, 4, 4 plus 1, 5, 5 plus 3, 8. So the perimeter is actually 8 parts or 8 units. And we know from the question that perimeter is 152 cm. So this 8 units is equivalent to 152 cm. What is 1 unit? 152 divided by 8, I get 19. And 1 unit is also the breadth. So find the breadth means I'm supposed to find what is 1 unit, and I get 19 cm. In this case, the units is given. Question 28, hanging there, just 3 more questions. A fruit store sells papayas, mangoes, and durians. 40% of the fruits are papayas, 10% of the remaining fruits are durians. There are 30 durians. This is an important clue, 30 durians. How many fruits are there in the store together? So we know that 10% of the remaining fruits are durians. So I have this working, right? 10% of the remaining fruits. Let's look at the model now. 40% are papayas. So this is the remaining. 60% here, this is the remaining fruits, which is made up of durians and mangoes. Of the remaining, 10% are durian and 90% are mangoes. I'm going to use this information here, which is 10% of the durians, 10% of the remaining fruits are durians, and there are 30 durians, to find out what is the remaining here altogether. What is this in actual number of fruits? So 10% is 30. So 100% of the remaining, this is 100%, 10 plus 90. So 10 times 10, 100. 30 times 10 is 300. So in other words, this part here is 300 mangoes plus durians. Okay, and this is actually, this 100% of the remaining is 60% of the total. So 60% here is also equivalent to 300. Now, then I'm supposed to find out how many fruits were there altogether. I must find out what is 100%. Not this 100%. This is 100% of the remainder. I'm talking about 100% of the total. So for example, 60% will be 300. I need to find out what is 100%. I know some of you will be doing this. 60% is 300. 1% is 300 divided by 60, and that is 5. 100% will be 1 times, so 5 times 100, and that is 500, which is also the same. For me, I get to 20 first, divided by 3, then times 5. Divided by 3, then times 5. Okay, 500 fruits altogether at first. Now, another question on angles. Now, it's supposed to find out what is angle P and M. So that's the one I showed up, P and M. Now, this is a rhombus. Now, I'll add in the 2 peaks. When I add in the 2 peaks, then you will see that actually you have some isosceles triangle here. And since this is a rhombus, opposite angles are equal. So I know this is 106. Now, to find out what is this angle, what can I do? I can think this way. This is an isosceles triangle. If I can use this property, right, isosceles triangle, to find out what is these 2 angles, easy, right? I can find out what is this whole angle, subtract 15, I get the angle that I'm supposed to find. So that's what I did. 180 minus 106, I get 74. These 2 angles is 74. One of them will be, I divide by 2, I get 37. So this angle here, I shade this blue angle, is 37. Take away 15, I get 22. So this is 22. 22 plus 15 is 37. That's to check. So answer is 22. Last question. The figure below shows a square and a circle. The square has a perimeter of 160. That means that 1, 2, 3, 4. Add together get 160. So what is one side? 160 divided by 4, I get 40. So in other words, 40 is one side. 40 is also the diameter. Right? If you fit the circle into a square, the length of one side of the square is equivalent to the diameter of the circle. Find the area of the circle in terms of pi. Remember, in terms of pi means you do not need to change pi to 3.14 or 22/7 or the calculator pi. Just leave it as pi. So what's the area of circle? Pi r. Right, pi, I leave it as pi. I don't touch the pi. And pi should be left at the back of the answer. Okay, I move it to the back. R times R. What's R? If this is the diameter, then R will be 40 divided by 2 is 20. 20 times 20 is 400 pi. Don't forget the pi when you write down your answer. So it's 400 pi. Remember this? If you tend to forget your formula, write it out first. Circumference here will be your pi times diameter. Must you find circumference in this question? No need. This is just to recap the formulas. Area, pi r. Radius, we found it, 20. Diameter, 40. Alright, that's the end of paper 1. I'll see you in the next video, which will be about paper 2 from the same 2021 mid-year exam paper from Primary School. Take care, all the best.